Oh my god, guys. What is going on? Boy 68 Sexy here. And I just watched one of the greatest SCAW CPVs of all time. And that was SCAW Spring Showdown. This was by far one of their greatest CPVs. I wouldn't say so far that it was better than Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 6, but as for the 6th annual Spring Showdown, this was pretty good. Lone Star actually pointed out that there's been more spring showdowns than there were spring stampedes in WCW. Then I've just noticed that there actually were. So, as we start off this review, the first match was the Kings of CAW taking on a random team of Captain Marvel and the King. No, actually Captain Marvel and King. It's just not the King, it's just King. Captain Marvel and King versus the Kings of CAW. This was a good matchup, to say the least. As I personally think the Kings of CAW's finisher is funny. It's just a mud hole. It's just a bunch of mud hole stomps into a knee to the face. But it may be funny, and Lone Star may say it's the worst finisher in SCAW history, but it's effective because the Kings of CAW are still undefeated. I'll give that match a 4 out of 5. If I was rating, it would probably be a 9 out of 10. If we're going up to 10 here. So we move on to the show. A good promo in the beginning, talking about, are we ready for a showdown? And I was ready for the showdown, as I got my hamburgers and a can of popcorn, some crackers, Dr. Pepper's ready. Because how long it took for me to finish that CPV, you would not believe, because of all the pausing I had to do in between epic moments. And there'd be a lot of epic moments later on. But here we go. It was first you saw Santa Claus take on the Gladiator. This was a good match, to say the least. Like, it's a good opening match for the show. Give it a 6 out of 10. The Santa Claus hit the Jingle Bell drop on the Gladiator. The Gladiator kicked out. The Gladiator got right back up. Maximus Decimator. Santa Claus kicked out. But the ending of the matchup, when Santa Claus just jumped off on the top rope on 350 pounds on Gladiator with the down the chimney 1, 2, 3. And Santa Claus had picked up the victory. I probably should have said spoiler alert in the beginning of this video, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So Santa Claus wins this matchup. And then we went on, I believe at that time we had went backstage. And we saw Ghost Rider. No, that was later, but I'll say it anyway. Ghost Rider was backstage with Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about how he didn't care who won the Legends title as long as he got the next title shot. And Arnold Schwarzenegger basically said if he did decide to interfere, he wouldn't be facing either. He wouldn't be facing either of them for any title, that title or any title. And then we went on to a match, the women's match tonight. I was surprised that there was no women's championship match at that night. Excuse me if my voice sounds weird, but I have a cold. Yes, I got another cold. Laura Croft and Rain. This was a good women's matchup. Rain won the matchup, Samoa Joe style, the Muscle Buster, and then into the Coquina Clutch that I personally call it the Downpour. And she defeated Laura Croft. I was surprised that Rain actually kicked out of Laura Croft's tombstone, as I call it, the Tombstone Cradle of Life. But anyway, Rain had won that matchup. And then we went on to the Doctor Doom versus Red Hood matchup. This is a match that I was looking forward to say the least. Not as much as the two matches later on that I'll tell you about, but This was one of the matches I was looking forward to see what the Red Hood could actually do. Red Hood actually made Dr. Doom tap out to the code red. I was surprised at that, but in the ending, what really surprised me was when Red Hood tried to take out Dr. Doom in the end, but he was saved by General Zod. And yes, Zod, kneel before Zod is back. I'm marked out for that moment. Zod was one of my favorite SCAW superstars back when he was still undefeated. He was the Goldberg of SCAW. He even had Goldberg's theme before, if I'm not mistaken. But Zod came back and assaulted the Red Hood viciously. The leg dropped, then the kneel before Zod, then throws him out the ring. But he looked different, to say the least. At first, I thought it was Superman, I'm not gonna lie. Because he looks exactly like Superman now. Except without the S on his chest. He looks like Superman. But that would have been a good idea. Have Superman join the Fearsome Four, and to come back just a little, like a little twist there. Like, instead of Superman being the hero of everything, even though I know he's a heel now at SCAW, he'll be back for that. Although I know Superman just got buried alive by Inuyasha, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But it would have been a good twist if it actually did happen. But it didn't, so on to our next matchup. It was the Internet Championship. Mr. Clean versus Optimus Prime. Yeah, Mr. Clean versus Optimus Prime. This match... Oh yeah, I forgot to rate the last one. The Lara Croft and Rain match, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The Dr. Doom and Red Hood match, for the viciousness, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And like I said, Mr. Clean takes on Optimus Prime. There were some vicious moments in this match that just made me laugh. Okay, there was actually one point where I thought that when Mr. Clean low-blowed Optimus Prime that he actually tased him. Because it actually looked like he pulled out a taser out of his pocket and tased Optimus Prime. That would have been a good ending to the matchup, but Optimus Prime still fought on after that. And Optimus Prime, the Optimus Splashes, the clean cuts, the Prime lines, the clean sweeps, the dirty tactics by Mr. Clean. And Optimus Prime, one thing really made me laugh is when Optimus Prime took the title off of Mr. Clean, and then Mr. Clean snatched the title back, and then Lone Star said that it wasn't in Optimus's programming to use the weapon on Mr. Clean because he's a face. That was the thing that made me laugh in this matchup. But in the end, Mr. Clean would go on to win that matchup. And retain his internet title via... Well, another thing that surprised me is Optimus Prime kicked out of 2 cleaning presses. But the way he lost was he presented like he was knocked out and then flipped back up in a jackknife and won. That was like a Eddie Guerrero like win there for Mr. Clean, which I think is awesome. And the next match we would see was the Falls Count Anywhere match that I was really looking forward to. It was Inuyasha versus Anakin. Again, those are my 3rd and 4th favorite SCAW competitors. Inuyasha and Anakin. Inuyasha, the hero that looks to take out all evil. Do we even need the Red Hood when there's Inuyasha around? And then we have Anakin. This match went so fast, in my opinion. Like it literally looked like it was 4 minutes. I don't know if I just looked away from the screen for a little bit and then looked back and it was over, or I don't know if the part skipped or something, but this match was fast, if I'm not mistaken, because it was 4 minutes into the video when I saw full-fledged demon bomb on the concrete, and Inuyasha picked up the victory. But before that, he tried to do his entrance, and Anakin, of course being the heel, would attack him from behind, chokeslamming the Sith on the very ending of the barricade, and Inuyasha kicked out. He Death Star drivered him on the concrete at the beginning. It looked like the concrete cracked. 1-2 kick out. And then Inuyasha gets right back up. Iron Raver Soul Stealer, full-fledged Demon Bomb, and Inuyasha is your winner. And then the most disrespectful thing about that matchup was, so Inuyasha didn't get to finish his entrance. So instead of him having a winning scene, he finished his entrance as his victory scene. As his victory celebration, he continued his entrance after beating him. How do you get attacked from behind, win the match, and then continue your entrance? Only Inuyasha, ladies and gentlemen, only Inuyasha would do something like that. What match is there next? Ah, yes, the tag team match. We had M Bison and Magneto taking on it was supposed to be versus Batman and Robin, but Robin had an injury, so it's Magneto and M Bison versus Batman and his surprise tag team partner, the 0-1 champion, the Green Lantern. This was a great matchup. Great chemistry by both these teams, but in the end, evil prevailed, fear prevailed, as I should say, as Magneto and M Bison retained the tag team championship. Here's a third match that I was really looking. Wait, no. This is a different matchup that I was thinking about. Here we go. It was Chuck Norris taking on Iron Man. This was a great matchup. SCAW Legends title. Just amazing. Epic. Chuck Norris and Iron Man. There was really points I thought Chuck Norris was going to win. Iron Man was going to win. Iron Man took 3 Chuck Norris kicks. There was a point where, and then Iron Man got right back for a jackknife Chuck Norris, but didn't get the 3 count. There's another point where Iron Man, Chuck Norris kicked Chuck Norris, is what surprised me. What was that called? An Iron Kick? In the beginning, you saw a Iron Thunder really fast. That almost picked up the victory for Iron Man. Then you see the steamrollers, the Chuck Norris kicks, the roundhouse kicks. The roundhouse kick that busted right through Iron Man's mask. It was just epic. I couldn't believe how the epicness of this matchup. But then again, when you have Chuck Norris and Iron Man in the ring, you already know it's going to be epic. Especially if they're facing each other. Oh wait, no, I already did that one. Spider-Man, Edward Elric. This is the matchup. This was the matchup of the night. I wasn't looking forward to the main event as much as I was looking forward to this match. My first 2 favorites in Spider-Man and Edward Elric. Amazing competitors, no doubt about it. The best competitors in the business today in SCAW. Spider-Man and Edward Elric. Spider-Man called legend and Edward Elric a rising star here. The points in this matchup, they were just epic. So epic that I can't finish this video telling you how epic they were. So I'm going to have to say peace, everyone. I will talk to you about this match in the next part of my review of SCAW's Spring Showdown. But I'm gonna have more reviews coming because this is CAW Talk. This is the first episode of CAW Talk. It's a show where I review all CAW shows that I watch. So here we go. TWA is up next. TWA's Battlefront. So goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.